Hey, I just feel really privileged right now. I just want to introduce you. I don't think you've seen him yet, but this is the younger version of myself. This is my little brother. And actually, he's a lot taller than me, so in a way. But anyways, he's an amazing carver, and he's giving me inspiration. Through the job, sometimes you start to lose heart and then gain confidence. And right now, Josh is a huge confidence booster for me. Just come over here and we'll just show you the tools that we're going to use. This here is what we're going to start to use to carve out on the door. Now on the door we want to have a tree on the side, and if you take a look, this bit here has a diamond tip. That will give us the grooves for the bark. So if you want to take a look, this was our tester piece. And yeah, so we got the grooves on here. And we did show sugibun on it. And once you do show sugibun, there's no turning back. You do show sugibun on everything. It's pretty cool. But anyway, that's going to be the tree. And the number of different tools we have going on is the grinder and a whole bunch of sanders and different router bits and carving, chiseling tools. So it's going to be a lot of fun, hey? Isn't it going to be fun, Josh?
Nothing straight around here.
Yeah, all right. Sweet. I'm back here with the, now I'm at the place where I'm going to be starting the carving of the bear. And right now what I have is just roughly on an outline. What you want to do is just get 2 pieces of wood, whatever you're going to be carving into. In my case it was 2 by 12, and I'm going to be laminating this together. And this is what I have for the bear. So I just drew by pencil on there and got the shape of the bear. And then to give it depth, then I took a router, and whatever is going to be further back, I just routed this 1 foot back further, so it gives it that that depth as he's walking. Now here at the door, I want this bear to be coming out in behind the tree somewhere. So I have the shape of the tree cut here, and what I did was I just placed the tree on the raw material before I started carving it, and then I took a pencil line and put where the tree was, and then I just made a scribe, and then I cut that so that when I put it against the tree there, it fits against the tree. And now what I did at that place is, now that I had that cut, I took a chainsaw and I cut tapering out to the farthest depth, and what that does is it gives you the appearance that the bear is coming in behind the tree. So there's lots of different tricks. I suggested when you're working to almost life scale sizes, using a chainsaw to do it gets you a quicker way to get to the depth, and you're able to take out more material. And then pretty soon I'll be working on areas in the face, and I'll be using routers and chisels to give it the more of the detail. But that's what I'm working on right now. It's a lot of fun. Okay, here we are at the barrel door, and it's really exciting now that we're at this place, because now we're getting ready to put this into the opening. And right now I want to finish all my carvings before we can do that. And I just want to go over with you the process of how I'm designing this door. In behind here is a plywood 3/4, and what I'm doing is laying 1 by 12 on top of that and gluing that, because the 1 by 12 is face grain. Anytime that you're using face grain material, it wants to cup or bow. So that's why you should glue to plywood, just to keep it from cupping on the door. And what I did here was I laid the 1 by 12 on the plywood, and the tree that I had carved here, put it on top of the 1 by 12. So just imagine this groove isn't cut out yet, and that gave me the shape of the tree, and then I took my pencil line and I scribed that, and then I cut that so that the 1x12 is fitting in between all the other carvings, and that adds a lot of strength. It hides your joints, and it's better resistance to water. If water wants to get in behind, it has to go into the corner there, so it will be really strong. So it's really exciting so far. Now we have to just finish off the rest of the salmon. And all right, now that we have everything glued in place and our carvings are now set in the door, I'm pretty excited because this was just a lot of fun process. Now to be here, it's the next stage is to be getting it up on the wall. And before I get it up there, I just want to talk to you a little bit about hardware on a custom door. Starting with the hinges here, traditionally use butt hinges, which are mounted on the inside of the jamb, and only the pins stick out. And you have lock pins so that you can't pop out the pins. And this hinge that we're using, it's kind of like an olden castle style hinge, like a strap hinge. And I like it because it kind of gives it that old look. But using this, you just want to make sure that you would use a lock screw or some type of carriage bolt. I'm going to be using a carriage bolt, which means that the only way to get that hinge off is on the inside of the door, which would be locked. So that gives you that security. Now on this, what I had to do was I had to put my hinge down in the place that I wanted, and then I marked it, and as I got the mark there, I just routed it, the shape of it, so it sat down in there. And the reason is because this door has different thicknesses with the carvings. A typical door thickness is 1 3/4. So that means on the outside of this hinge here, I need it to be 1 3/4 from this to the back of the door, so that I have the proper offset as it goes into the jamb. So that's for the hinges. And as you come along here for the hardware, if you're just going to be using your typical hardware that you get in any hardware store, the specs and offsets come with that, and they usually make it so that it can fit into an interior door, which is 1 3/8, or an exterior door 1 3/4. Because this is a custom door, I have a lot of different thicknesses on there, so I had to make sure that as you put in the hardware, that the hardware is actually not that it's not greater than 1 3/4. Otherwise your bolts are going to be too short. So lay out where you want your hardware to be if there's going to be any carvings in the way. And so now that I have this in place, you just get your a hardware jig, and this just you put in where you have your layouts. You put this on the edge of your door, and then that you're able to drill through so that your hardware can go in there. And then also for the deadbolts and the latches, this goes on the side of the door. And once that's all said and done, you can install your hardware, and I think it's going to look really great. And up here for the glass, what I did was I had the opening for it cut out already, and I sent that away, a template, and then the glass company just cut it to that moon-shaped glass that they installed it. Now it has a gas seal inside there, so it's a double pane. And in order to get that so that the glass sits in, I just hung all my carvings in so that the window sits against that, and it has a good seal and coverage on there. And so it's exciting. Now we're going to be starting to put it into the jamb, put it into its place. I just have down here some shims. Now that will hold it up so that I have the proper spacing at the bottom of the door so it doesn't rub. And something that I didn't show or explain yet is that the inside of this jamb, I had to put a spacer to hold off a layer of an 1/8 inch thick by 1/2 inch deep back, so that allows for the weather stripping to fit in there. And so that's going to look really great. So stay tuned for the finished product. All right, Budo.